times, and I was not happy. So thank you again for joining our webinar today. We are going to be talking about 5 AI gold mines that might just be hidden in your business, and it might be a business of one, or it could be a business of 500 or more. Most of these gold mines you're going to still be able to find in your business. I'm going to apologize in advance. I seem to have contracted some sort of cough, so I might be coughing a little bit here and there. So just hang tight with me and we can get through it. So let's start. So what are we going to get out of today? Our agenda. We're going to go over the 5 gold mines with some real ROI numbers. I'm going to show you some exact tools that you can use for each of the gold mines. And then I'm going to give you a quick start guide so you can get started quickly as soon as Monday morning. So let's talk about AI. Is AI really worth the time and effort to put into it? Yes, that is a big yes. It's transforming businesses right now. So we're going to go over how this looks and what's happening. So the reality check with AI, right now you might be feeling like smaller competitors are outmaneuvering you. Larger companies are outspending you. Your team is just drowning in repetitive tasks that could be automated. AI levels the playing field and it can level it starting today, or it's Friday afternoon. We'll do Monday. So AI can help you level no matter what size businesses that you have. So goldmine number one, customer service. Have you ever thought to use automation within your customer service? You might say, but no, we need to talk to our customers one-on-one. That is true. None of this means anything I'm going to go over today does not mean that a person is still not needed. What this is about efficiency and about finding other opportunities for you. So the problem is copy and paste insanity, I call it. So your team answers the same 20 questions 100 times a day. So the questions might be things like, what are your hours? Or do you ship to my address? Or how do I reset my password? Or where are you located? The fix could take 15 to 30 minutes to set up. And you'll see some tools here that could help you with customer service, implementing AI into that. I'm going to give a disclaimer. There are thousands and thousands of softwares out there for AI solutions. So these are just a few. There are many out there to choose from. And so I just wanted to at least give you a starting point for where to start. So AI for customer service. Let's dig down into this. So there's about 10 advantages of using AI for customer service. One is it's always on. It's 24/7. It's available at 3 a.m. It's available on weekends. It's available on holidays, and there's no overtime pay. So it's always up and running. Instant responses, it can respond within 30 seconds versus a couple hours, which is normally industry standard of getting back to people. So the faster that you get back to people with answers, the higher satisfaction they're going to have, which will result in more sales. The quality is constant. So there's nobody having a bad day that's not nice on the phone. It has the correct information every single time, and there's no gaps for training. So the consistency for quality is always going to be there. It can handle volume spikes. So let's say that you sell something and there's a spike on Black Friday, or there's a new product launch and people want to know about it, or a new service that you have and people want to know about it. It can instantly scale so that you don't have to hire temporary staff to handle any big volume spikes. It's multilingual. It can serve customers in over 50 languages. So that is a huge advantage. It also can learn from itself and learn from customers' questions and learn for what their follow-up questions might be. So it analyzes every conversation. So think about it as one of those chat boxes that you see. So you're going to put in your question, it's going to spit out the answer. And then if you do a follow-up question, AI is going to watch for that and see if there's other questions that they should be able to answer. And it does get smarter over time. It frees up your customer service team. It frees up the human staff that has, and so that they can focus on higher level projects, higher level work to be able to bring in more revenue. Reduces training costs. So if it's a new product, new service, If you have to train an entire support staff on it, you don't have to do that with AI. All you do is update AI. You just update the answers that it gives, and the flow of that information about that new product or service, and that's it. So it reduces the training costs. Data and insights. So AI can track the questions. It can identify easily any pain points that customers are having. So if customers are either putting things online, or if they are asking the same questions over and over, or if they have the same complaint over and over, you can use that as insight so that maybe you can fix that problem before it gets really out of hand. And it's cost efficient. It can handle up to 10 times more inquiries with the same size team that you have right now. So you can get your money back plus within 3 to 6 months for sure. And then anything after that is pure profit. So a real life example for it's an e-commerce company. So before AI, this is how they were running their customer service. They had 3 support people handling about 200 emails that were coming in a day. Their average response time was close to 4 hours. It was $120,000 a year in salaries between these 3 people, and the customer satisfaction was ranked at 72%. After 3 months of AI handles 65% of all the inquiries coming in. The average response time was 30 seconds, not 4 hours. The staff can now focus on complex issues that actually can be revenue improving, and the customer satisfaction went from 72 to 89%. That's just 3 months. That's just using it for 3 months. So the ROI is it saved 15 hours a week per employee, and it saved the company, it was $45,000 more of revenue for the company. And more importantly, the customers were happier. So they're going to stay with you. So the retention rate was extremely high for them. So gold mine number two, we have 5 of these plus a little bonus I threw in. So gold mine number two is lead qualification. So you might be the only business development person. It might just be you, or you might have a sales team. But no matter what, you're wasting time. You're wasting time on chasing leads that will never close. People are just kind of checking it out, check your products, check your service. They have really no intent of buying. Their budget may not be correlated with what your services or your products are. And they're usually not the decision makers that are poking around your website. The fix is you automate it, and you can automate it by this coming week. Some of the tools, HubSpot has an AI part of their programming. Salesforce has AI. It's called Einstein, and then there's clay.com. These are just a few of the AI tools that you can use to be able to automate and to be able to start to look at leads a different way. So now I'm going to dive into how does actually AI help with leads and qualification. So it does scoring. AI analyzes every single lead within seconds using different data points that you've told it is important. So your target market might be mid-sized companies, employees up to this amount of employees, whatever annual revenue, type of industry, job title, person, whatever those are, those data points, the AI software will score each and every lead coming in based on those data points for you. And then it can predict which of those leads will convert. And this prediction is usually 85% accurate because it's looking at buying signals and it's looking at patterns. AI is all about patterns. It's all about trends. That's what it's all math. That's what it's looking for. So it can predict which leads are probably going to close. So there's no more using your gut. It's no more, yeah, I think he's interested, or yeah, I think this might be a good one. It's all data driven now. And it knows exactly which leads to give the most attention to. And no matter who you are, I don't care. You have even unconscious bias. So it does lead to us taking our sales leads and maybe not treating them all fairly. Well, AI doesn't have bias. Hopefully, there is a whole ethical issue about bias in AI, which is a whole nother webinar. But it will evaluate every lead fairly for you and no favoritism over anything. And it knows how to prioritize these leads for your sales team. So they're always contacting the hottest leads because as they come in, they're being qualified, they're being scored, they're being analyzed, and you're always going to be working on the leads that are going to mean the most. AI can monitor website visits, email opens, content downloads, and engagement. So it can spot buying intent. So even though someone may not have even reached out to you yet, it can spot some buying intent and help you be able to cultivate that potential lead. Automation is all about AI is all about automation. So it can find missing contact information that you might have. It can help just make better decisions because it's enriching all of the data that you have. It can compare your customer to every lead. Every lead that comes in, it can compare that to your best customer. So it's have you ever heard about like creating a persona for your best customer or the type of target that you're going after? Well, AI will be able to do that, and it's on like super speed, and it's always well done because it looks again for trends. That's what it's about. So it's looking for ways to be able to match customers that meet this perfect customer persona. It also can tell the optimal moment to reach out to them based on how they've engaged with you and what buying stage that they're in. So it's looking all kind of like timing. Are they emailing you at 10 o'clock at night or 6 in the morning? So it's looking at all of that and it can tell you the perfect time to do a reach out. It also never lets hot leads get stuck in the queue or in line. It alerts reps immediately if a hot lead comes in, so it can kind of jump to the front, and so there's no leakage with your pipeline. And it's continuously learning. AI can track which leads finally converted and why, and they're constantly improving the scoring model that they used. Remember in the beginning, that first one that they're scoring the leads, it's learning from the history. So it's looking at, okay, these leads that came in that we analyzed, that we scored, which ones converted? And then it looks at, okay, we need to get better at this. So the scoring is now going to include X, Y, and Z. So it's actually learning from itself. And sales and marketing don't always get along if you have different departments. So both teams no longer have the finger pointing saying it's a bad lead or you can't sell. It's none of that because AI is unbiased and it's already scoring the leads. So there's the sales and marketing alignment gets a lot better when you use AI. So companies that are using AI in with their sales teams are showing up to a three times higher conversion rate, a 40 to 50% reduction in time wasted, which is huge. Nobody has unlimited time. 28% increase in revenue per salesperson, not just the business, but per salesperson, and 60% faster time to close. So those leads that come in, they're closing faster. So here's a real life example. It's a business to business service company. Before AI, it was 100 leads per week that they were getting. They were converting about 15% of them. They were working 60 hours a week on qualifying the 100 leads a week, and 15 qualified leads were the result. After AI scores all of those 100 leads instantly. So there's no working through the 60 hours of qualifying. 42% conversion rate on AI qualified leads versus 15. 15 hours a week on high value prospects instead of 60 hours of sorting through the leads. And they got 35 qualified leads because of the way that AI had sorted and tracked and scored. So they saw a big difference. They saved 45 hours weekly. They saw 3 times more conversions, which to them added up to 156,000 more in revenue. Okay, let that sink in. How'd you like to have another $156,000 in your bank? Gold mine number 3, email marketing. So before AI, you're probably sending out 200 generic emails per week. Hopefully you are. There's an 8% open rate on average a 2% response rate. All of these rates have been going down. I've been doing this 17 years And everything is just decreasing, decreasing, decreasing. So these open rates used to be much higher, response rates used to be much higher, but we're just inundated with information. So this is pretty normal what you're seeing right now with emails and campaigns. Out of the 200 emails, there was 4 conversions. The fix takes 20 minutes and you can personalize 1,000 emails. Here are a few of the tools that you can use to take a look. Some of like Constant Contact, MailChimp, they have some already integrated within their software, so you don't have to go find new software to use. But other outside software might even be more robust. So just because a company says, yes, our software now has AI part of it, doesn't mean it's good. I use Canva. I'm not in love with Canva's AI, so I use other AI softwares to do certain things outside of Canva. So just because it's in there and in the systems that you might already be using doesn't mean it's a good AI software. So a few advantages of using AI in email marketing. Personalization. I took a whole course on email marketing with AI, and this personalization is top of the scale of what's important. And it's hyper personalized, and we'll get into that in a second. So it customizes every email. It's not just their name, it includes their company, their industry, what that particular person's pain points might be, recent news in their industry, and even some of their interests. It's all sending in at the perfect time. So you might have 1,000 people in your database. Each of them looks at email differently at different times. So Mary might get it at 6 a.m. because she's an early bird. David might get his email at 7 p.m. because he looks at emails after dinner. So each person in your database will receive an email at different times. Okay, and it also includes, it takes into effect their engagement patterns as well. Now, the subject lines, that's always like, okay, what's a good subject line? What's going to get people to open this? AI tests hundreds of subject lines with each campaign and the variations, and it will predict which ones will get the highest open rate before you even send. All right, so it's already testing these for you. And then the content itself can adapt on the recipient's industry, company size, role, previous interactions. So the content that one person might get and another person might get could be different. Oh, we saw that you might be interested in X product on our website, blah, 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 or you might actually be interested in this because you bought that. That's not going to be being the same for Mary versus David because they bought different things. So does that make sense? So it can create content based on their behaviors with you, based on who they are and their industry. And each person, those thousand emails that you have might get actual different emails that will give a different call to action. AI can analyze the tone and adjust depending on the recipient's tone. So if they've ever communicated with you through email, are they formal? Are they casual? Are they technical? It will know that and be able to speak in their tone so that they're most comfortable with that email. And then it's A/B testing on steroids, like I said. It runs continuously different tests on subject lines, on the content of the email, on the call to actions, on the send times, all of it, images, and it can optimize in real time. So no longer will you have to analyze, did this email work versus this email work? Now your AI is taking over and it's doing hundreds of tests on subject lines and content and call to actions. And it's no more guessing or gut work. It's actual data from AI. So the some more advantages, predictive, it can predict who's most likely to open and click and respond. There's auto follow-up sequences that you can set up. So if somebody didn't click, you can do a sequence for them. It will help you not end up in their spam. So it will check your email for any spam triggers before you even send it. It will identify positive responses or objections, or even the out of office messages. If you send someone that and they've put in an email like contact Claire at this email instead, it will reroute that email to Claire. And content generation, we talked about that. It will create email copy and it's tailored to each segment of your email list. So the real impact of AI and email marketing, it's up to 3 times higher open rate, up to 6 times higher response rate, up to 10 times higher email volume with the same sales team or the same systems that you're using, 50% reduction in unsubscribes, and a 500% increase in qualified conversions. This is the key right here. Emails, addresses are still gold. They still will drive business. They still will help you grow your business. If you incorporate AI into your email strategies and your email campaigns, you will see a huge increase in qualified conversions, and the ROI is going to be sky high for you for every dollar you invest in email marketing. So when your competitors are sending out their 100 generic weekly emails, you're sending 1,000 personalized messages. You're everywhere and they're nowhere. So this is really an advantage that you're going to have on your competitors. So here's a real life example. Marketing agency before AI, they were sending out 200 generic outreach emails per week. They had an 18% open rate. That's okay. 2% response rate. That's about normal. 4 new conversions for every week, 200 outreach emails. After AI, they were sending 1,000 personalized emails per week. They had a 43% open rate. They had an 11% response rate instead of 2, and they had 110 new conversions instead of 4. This is a real life example. It really, it works in real time, real life. So I just wanted to show you that example. They had over 27 times more conversions, 5 times volume in the same time period, and they added 280,000 in their pipeline just by using AI for email marketing. Okay, if that doesn't sell it right there, I don't know what will. Goldmine number 4, competitor intelligence. We always talk about our competitors. Do we really know them? Do we really know what they're doing? Do we really know what systems they're using or how they're doing their digital marketing? You're really flying blind on this. Your competitors might, if they're using AI, they know what's happening in their market and you don't. There could be price changes you're missing. There could be new features being launched in the industry. There could be market trends in the industry that you just don't have your hand on. The fix, 24/7 market monitoring. So here are a few of the tools you can see, but you can monitor your market, your industry, and look for trends that are going to keep you ahead of competitors that are still sitting in your seat and have not implemented AI yet. So there's some advantages of AI competitor intelligence. Again, 24/7 surveillance market. They're surveilling your market 24/7. So it's looking at competitors' websites, their social media, any job postings, any press releases, reviews, anything that's online about your competitors, it's going to watch. Real-time price tracking, so you can get instant alerts when competitors are changing their offerings or changing their pricing or adjusting their packages so that you can get ahead of that and maybe fill in some gaps that they are presenting to you. Product launch, so if AI spots new features or services or products within your industry, the moment they're announced, you're going to know about it. So you can start to prepare your strategies for that. Content strategy, AI tracks what topics competitors write about, and then you can think about, okay, how can I write better topics? Or, yeah, but that's a good topic, but what about this? So you can kind of stay ahead of that as well and see if there's any gaps in their strategy. SEO, search engine optimization. I'm going to do another webinar on this, but SEO is changing and it's changing quickly. So you need to know exactly what keywords right now competitors are ranking for and how they're ranking for them to see if there's any gaps in there that you could exploit. Every single time I do keyword research for clients, I always find phrases that are high volume and low competition that competitors are just ignoring. So there's always opportunity with that, and AI can help you. And it can monitor your competitors' social media, analyze their engagement rates, what the audience is saying and how they're saying it, identify what could resonate with your target clients. So it can monitor this again 24/7. Some other advantages, It can look for job postings. So are your competitors expanding into new markets? Are they struggling with retention? Can they not keep who they have? So it can watch for job postings from them. It can watch what people are saying online and how they're saying it in forums, in social mentions, in reviews. So you can see if there's any weaknesses or common customer complaints that you have. And then your marketing can be about how to solve those common complaints that your competitor is having. It can also look for your competitors. Basically, why are they getting the business and we aren't? So it can look at the win-loss patterns and try to give you a strategy so that you can get ahead of that and you can start winning some of those clients instead of your competitor always getting them. The pricing can be elastic, meaning that it responds to competitors' price changes. So you can optimize your own pricing schedule. There's no more guesswork with that. I know it's a lot, guys, so hang tight because it is a lot of information. You can look at different tools, platforms, partners that your competitor might be using to help with their technology. It can look at market share trends. So it can look at your competitor. Are they growing? Are they gaining market share? Are they losing market share? And just being able to see where they are compared to where you are. And then if anybody's ever done a SWOT analysis, it's a strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats to your business. AI can continuously update the competitors as well as your strategy with this SWOT analysis. So it's very informative if you've never done one. So businesses that are using AI for competitor intelligence, what they're seeing, 45% faster responses to competitive threats, about 3 times better win rates in competitive deals, 68% more market opportunities. How would you like that? A 68% increase in opportunities within your market. AI can help you with that. And the value for your competitive insights is priceless. There's an 89% reduction in time spent on research. Okay, who wouldn't want 89% of their time back when it comes to anything that you do? So competitive research, you're going to save just about all of that time. And if there are strategic decisions that you have to make soon, you're going to be about 4 to 6 months ahead because you're going to have instant information and you will have all of that information quickly versus your competitors might still be trying to figure out all of that strategic data that they need. So here's a real life example. I'm doing this for each one. This is a startup. So before AI, they did manual competitor checks every month, which is good. Not all of us do that. They missed some major pricing shifting within their industry. They lost 12 deals to competitors, and they were all reactive. They weren't proactive. It was all reactive strategies. So after AI, they get daily automated reports. They spotted some vulnerabilities that their competitor had. They launched some features that exploited those vulnerabilities in 3 weeks. So now they're being proactive in their marketing. So they won 23 competitive deals that were worth $340,000 to them because they implemented AI in competitive research. Okay, not a joke. This really does happen and it really does work. So goal mine number 5, online reputation. So Google reviews and reviews online and all the different platforms matter. They matter more than you know. Every hour without a review of a response is going to cost you rankings and customers because Google is looking at you. They're looking at how responsive are you as a business to your reviews or complaints. And they don't want to see negative reviews just festering. They want to see customers being taken care of. And if you're not taking care of those reviews, they're seeing customers that you don't care about. You don't care about your customers. The fix, it takes about an hour and it runs forever. So there are some software companies that do concentrate on online reputation so that you can stay on top of all the reviews. It can actually help you solicit reviews online. And it's if you're slow on responses or you're not responding at all, it's basically, a death to any Google rankings for you. So the advantages of AI online reputation management, it's super fast. It's going to it's going to respond to reviews in minutes and not days. And Google likes that. So it's going to reward you for that. It sees that you care about your customers, you care about getting back to them, and even you care about the negative reviews, and you've kind of neutralized it before it got out of hand. Again, they are up 24/7. AI never sleeps. So it watches Google, Yelp, Facebook, TripAdvisor, all of them, over 100 platforms at the same time, and nothing can slip through the cracks. It can also look at the reviews, both positive and negative, and then identify any tones, any urgent issues you might not be seeing. I had a client that there was a um, constant complaint about their time that they're open. They're only open like Thursday through Sunday. So they were like, why can't you be open Monday through Wednesday? So, I did bring that to the client, and they made their decision based on some of that input to open on Wednesday, in addition to open the regular days. So if there's enough complaints out there or enough questions about the same thing, it's going to be able to pick that up. And each response is personalized. It's not one of those copy and paste. It has the reviewer's name in it, if available, the specific issue that they mentioned, and any relevant details. It's never feeling generic at all. It's not a copy and paste at all. And again, it's multilingual. So it can handle up to 50 languages. And AI can identify potential PR disasters. There have been some in the past that I could bring up, but again, that would be a whole nother webinar. But it's, big box stores. It went crazy. There was reviews, and then employees got onto the bandwagon and told their horror stories with that company, and it just went viral really quickly. So AI will be able to stop that, even if it's on a small scale, even if you're a local retailer or a local salesperson for a local business. You can be able to try to find these trends and stop them immediately. And then the happiest customers, it will help to reach out to them so they can leave a review. So, and it knows pretty much the best timing to do it. So that's how they can generate more reviews. So some more advantages is competitor benchmarking. Again, they're looking at your competitors' ranking and ratings and response rates and all of that, and you can see how you are compared to what your competitors are doing. It gives you an SEO boost with Google, so more reviews and faster responses Google loves. So as you are building your reviews and you're getting back to people through AI, and everything's optimized, that Google's really going to like that, and your rankings you might see will get better. AI also looks at certain complaints, like I kind of gave you an example, but slow service, parking issues. If you own a restaurant, and it keeps saying food was great, but it was really bad service, then that's something that you need to take care of. You can set up AI to learn your brand voice, and you can create templates for it, which can incorporate company policies but still be personalized. And the timing of those review asks. So after a positive interaction or a delivery that was on time or a milestone that was achieved with that client, you can ask them for a review, and it knows when to do that. It also can pick up any fake reviews. And AI flags dissatisfied customers so that you can be proactive. And a lot of times they're able to tell this on the earlier side more than the late side. So you can get ahead of anybody that's not happy. So companies using AI reputation management saw almost a star higher improvement within 6 months. It may not sound like a lot, but in a minute you're gonna learn why it does matter. 5 times the increase in total review volume. So using AI for soliciting reviews, they were getting 5 times more reviews. There was a 95% response rate versus a 20 to 30% average. So most of your competitors aren't watching reviews online. And if they are, they're only watching Google. They're not watching Yelp. They're not watching the other ones. So you are going to be watching them through AI all the time. There's a 60% improvement in local search rankings. So if you want people to be able to find you, using AI for reputation management is going to help you. 31% increase in customer trust, and every dollar invested in reputation management through AI, you will earn $18. So that's a pretty good ROI. 93% of customers and consumers read online reviews before you buy. So if you think these reviews don't matter, you need to sharpen up your skills because 93% of customers are going to look you up and look for reviews before they buy from you. Any one-star increase, you can see up to a 9% revenue boost. So what would that mean to your business? So if you went from 3.5 stars to 4.5 stars, that's a huge increase and it will increase your revenue. Just a side note, if you're under 4 stars, Google will not deliver your business as a result for anything. So you have to be at least above 5 star or 4 stars for Google or any of the AI to offer you as a result for someone's search. So if you're under 4 stars, you kind of need to start getting on that. So here's a real example, local restaurant chain before AI. Their average response time was 3 to 5 days to reviews. They had a 4.1 star Google rating, 30% review response rate, and they were seeing declining foot traffic, which is not a good sign. After 6 months of using AI, the average response time was 15 minutes instead of days. Their star rating went from 4.1 to 4.7, a 98% review response rate versus 30. And instead of declining foot traffic, their traffic increased 22%. That's 6 months. 6 months. So they moved from page 3 to number 1 in local search, and they added another $420,000 in additional revenue by using AI for this. So it's extremely efficient and it can take so much off of your plate that you really should look at AI for your online reputation. Here's my bonus gold mine, collections. If you are in a company or an industry that struggles with getting your money from your clients, think of for AI for collections. So the problem is you have unpaid invoices, they're piling up. Collection calls are awkward. Nobody wants to do those with your current clients, and it's really time consuming. So the average collection you might have is 60 plus day payment cycles. You're uncomfortable making those calls. Your staff avoids making the calls. Your cash flow isn't flowing. It's strangled by these late payments. The fix, AI. You can automate and it's polite and it becomes a collection machine. So I'm going to show you some ways that you can use AI in collections to help better your results. It eliminates those awkward conversations. It handles the uncomfortable money talk. It's perfect timing. Again, it knows when clients usually pay from the past. So it's going to ask for the money around the time of the month or whatever that is. That's going to be perfect. Your perfect scenario for getting paid. It's going to escalate the tone that it uses without emotion as it's sending out different notices or different communication. And of course, that communication is going to be personalized just about them and their invoice. And it can use email, it can use text, it can actually call. So it has multi-channel outreach available. So relationships will maybe stay more intact because you don't have anybody having these awkward conversations. It's more AI taking over and there's no emotions in it. You can get out of that loop, of getting angry because they're not paying you. So it really helps with that. Now, it can also predict. So it's looking for patterns to analyze with cash flow. So it can identify any risks that you have, or it can also identify when clients don't seem to have problems paying, and maybe there's a few months, maybe they're seasonal, and they do have problems paying in other months. So it can detect all of that. Default detection, it can spot problems week in advance before it gets to collections. You can automate payment plans. So let's say that there's a bot on your website and there's an option for, create a payment plan, and you can click that and you have taught AI what kind of payment plans are acceptable for you. So it can create and communicate with your client and create the payment plan right then and there. Again, 24/7, it never forgets, it's never busy, it never drops the ball, and it can stay within compliance if that's an issue with your company, and it gives you documentation for any legal issues that might come up. So we're still on collections, strategic optimization. So it can segment different customers and it can approach them in different ways based on their payment behaviors. It integrates into most of the softwares that you probably are using for your accounting. It can forecast cash flow for you so you can predict when people may not be paying you so that you can be ready for that. So here's a real life example for collections. So before AI, a professional service firm, their average payment time was 67 days. There was always $240,000 outstanding at any time. They used 20 hours a month just on collection calls, and it was uncomfortable because they had to reach out to their clients for these calls. And 12% of invoices actually went to 90 plus days. After AI, the average payment went from 67 days to 31. The outstanding at any time went from 240,000 to 95. Instead of 20 hours a month, it was 2 hours a month they were on the phone doing collection calls. AI sends friendly, personalized reminders, and only 2% of invoices went past 60 days. We had 12% of invoices going over 90 days before. So they freed up $145,000 in cash flow and saved 18 hours a month just by using AI for collections. All right, so I gave you 5 different ways that AI can either find extra money for you or save money for you. So how do you get started? So here's a quick start guide. Week 1, try the customer service. You can do this in any order, but what you want to do is look for the biggest bottleneck that you have in your business and start there. So quick start guide, week 1, customer service. What you're going to do is set up those customer service strategies that I talked about. So you're going to set up the AI chatbot. Top 20 facts takes maybe an hour or two to set it up because you have to tell it what the questions might be, as well as what the answers should be. The other thing that I did not point out is AI is able to escalate, meaning that if they're in some sort of conversation with your customer on your website and it kind of gets to a point where AI doesn't have the answer, it will escalate it to someone. So either it will, send you an email or get you in, the software will allow you to tap into that chat. So it can escalate. You're not going to lose that customer because it doesn't have the answer. So customer service, week 1. Week 2, lead qualification. So you're going to set up your scoring system. Takes a couple hours, but once it's set, you can kind of walk away until you decide to change anything within what you had told it to do. Week 3, we're going to do email marketing. So customer service is now set up. Lead qualification is now set up. Email marketing is the next one. So you're going to launch some personalized campaigns. Does take a little bit to set it up, but once it's set up, you can just walk away. And then week 4, let's try the competitor intel and reputation management. So again, it takes a couple hours to set this up and to set up all the monitoring. But your total time investment, your first month, will be maybe 9, 10 hours, but it will transform your business. As you've seen, transform the businesses I use for examples. So even if you just did one of these or 2 of them, it can transform your business drastically for 2026. So, will you have to fire anyone? This is a huge, huge question, and I love answering this question for people. So, will I have to fire people? No, AI handles just the repetitive tasks because it's really, really good at looking at trends and following that to come up with solutions. Your team can then get out of data entry, can get out of answering the where are you located calls and focus on higher value work. And so every client that is going to stay with you and expand the services that you can offer to them. So no, there will be more work for those people at a higher level. You're taking away the mundane work from them, which I'm sure they will be happy about. Is this too technical for us? If you basically jumped onto this Zoom right now, this webinar, you can do AI. The tools are made for people and not for IT professionals, so it just takes usually a couple minutes to learn how to do it. They're great in training, and there's a lot of resources online for you. How long will it take to see results? Average for one of those different gold mines, I would say 3 to 4 weeks. You would see some sort of movement, some sort of progress. 90 days, you're really going to start seeing some progress. And then within 6 months, you'll be sold. You'll be sold that we can never go back after 6 months. So what if you're in an industry and you're just not sure if it's going to work for you? Is it for every industry? Let me tell you something. Every industry is inefficient. It doesn't matter what you do. Your business and your industry that has inefficiencies. So this is where AI can come in and help you. So some common concerns that I've heard, it's too expensive. All right, that's not necessarily true. So there are a lot of solutions that are less than $100 a month, way less than hiring someone to take on that task or take on that role. And the typical ROI you're going to see within 3 to 6 months. And just start small. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to do all of the gold mines that I shared with you. You can just start with one and see how it goes, and then you can just scale from there. So no, the expense doesn't fly with me because it's pretty inexpensive for the softwares themselves. You don't have the technical experience. How am I going to do this? I have no idea what I'm doing. I can barely turn on the computer. Well, AI tools are designed for business users, not programmers. And the implementation is normally pretty easy. It can be done without an IT department, but you might need a little guidance. And a lot of the softwares will have packages that include that with the support and training included. All right, so this is the biggest concern that I have when I'm going in to talk to companies about AI and how it can help. Our team won't adapt. All right, we can have the best tools, we can have the best solutions, but if your team, your employees, or even you are scared that they're being replaced, um, it's not going to work because they're not going to use it. So you actually, before you implement anything AI within your business, you should have training and talk with your employees, and so that they can start to understand that you're doing this to make their job more efficient, that they can work on work they actually want to work on versus the mundane stuff, and they have better data and analysis to be able to make better decisions. If you can train and explain this to your team, then this won't be an issue. They're going to be excited to see it come. If you skip this step, then it's going to be a disaster and it's going to be money wasted. So this is a really important part of making this work for your business and even for yourself. You have to, don't get overwhelmed by it. Just start to dive in and just know that this is going to make my business more efficient. I need to learn it. Another issue that I find is people's data isn't good. So, they haven't looked at their Excel spreadsheet that they've been working on, to track leads. They haven't looked at that in months, or, it's all outdated. It doesn't matter. You can use AI to help clean your data and organize it as part of the initial process. And then you're going to start with that cleaned up version. And then going forward, all of your data will be nice and clean. So it doesn't have to be great in the beginning. It doesn't even have to be good in the beginning. It just needs to be something. And then AI can actually help you organize that. So every day that you wait on this, every day that you sit here and think about it, yeah, I think I need to look into this next year. Every day that you're waiting, it's costing you. So your team or even you are wasting probably over 15 hours every week on tasks that AI can handle and it could take off your plate. Your competitors might be using it. So they're getting smarter and they're going to be able to adjust faster than you. Um, you lose customers that you can't get back to timely, that maybe you're not communicating well to. You will lose those customers where AI can help keep them and retain them. And you're probably spending, even if you're a solopreneur, someone, with a small business, you're probably spending probably $1,000 a week on inefficiencies when you start to add it all up. That includes your time as well. So a 1 month delay on starting AI could cost you over $4,000 plus a lot of opportunities that you're missing. So your competitors aren't waiting, so you have to figure out, okay, if they're not waiting, why am I? So what does it look like timeline wise? So week one, you're already ahead of probably 80% of businesses that are still thinking about AI. They're sitting in your seat on this webinar trying to figure it out. If you start right now, next week, and that first week, you're going to be ahead of 80% of them. After the first month, you're going to be generating results while competitors are still kind of debating, okay, should we do this? You're already going to be getting results within month one. Month six, you're going to have AI systems, multiple AI systems throughout your business working together. So it's going to give you compound results. And then by the end of year one, you're going to be so efficient and compared to your manual competitors that you can't even compare yourself anymore. So the organizations that are winning with AI are exactly where you're sitting right now. The difference is they got started. So they started from scratch. Nobody, this is all new. It's not like people have been doing this for 10 years. Everybody's new to this. So all you have to do is just dive in and get started. So there's three ways you can get started. You can do it yourself. It's fine. You can do it yourself. You can use today's kind of roadmap that I gave you. Start with some free trials and kind of basic implementation into your systems. You're going to learn through experimentation. So you're going to try different software, see if they work. Is it, but it's not giving me this. So then you switch to another software. So yeah, you can do that and experiment with it. Option two, guided implementation. So you can work with an AI consultant like myself or anybody for the original strategic planning. You can get customized recommendations as you are implementing it. We can make it faster for you to implement because you're not having to this big, huge learning curve because we're going to give you expert guidance. Or there's option number three. I'm too busy for this. I know I need it. I know this is the future, but I can't take time to do this. Just hand it over. Just hand it over to a full service AI consultant, and we can implement it and we can manage this for you. Um, Custom solutions are designed for you and your team. Ongoing optimization and expansion will be handled by that team or by us. So you just have to figure out which one works for you. Do it yourself, do it at a slower pace, guided implementation, which isn't a bad option, or I'm just handing this over. Can you just get this up and running for me? So those are the three ways you can get this going. So the key takeaways today, AI is not optional. If you're going to be competitive, it's necessary. Successful organizations are already gaining big advantages right now. So you don't want to be left in 2, 3 years from now. Just you can't even catch up because they're so far ahead. Implementation doesn't require lots of money and technical teams. It's not hundreds and thousands of dollars, and it's not needing an IT department. And the best time to start actually was yesterday, but the second best time is today. So you just have to figure out, like, are you leading, are you following in your industry? And I do thank you for your attention today. Here's some information from me. I'm offering a free AI audit. I normally charge $2,500 for this because it's a full service, every part of your business audit. But if you book within 48 hours of seeing this video, or if you're online on demand or seeing this live, then I'm happy to give you this free audit. So I would take some questions right now. So there is a Q&A that is available in the navigation bar, and I'm happy to answer any questions. So it looks like there might be a question about how do I find the right software? So I use AI to find questions about AI, to find solutions about AI. So which AI do I use? I normally use Claude. I don't use ChatGPT. I always start it with Claude and I've stuck with Claude. It gives me great options. I will ask it about new softwares coming out for X, Y, and Z solutions, and it will point me in the right direction. It scans the internet and scans my needs, and it'll give me a really good head start on which softwares to use. You do want to take some demos, so you want to try to set up a demo with these different software providers so that you can see, is it easy? I don't think I can do this. Is it going to do everything I need? And ask all your questions. So I would actually use AI, whether Claude or Chat or whatever else that you use, to be able to find some good solutions. I gave you some examples during the webinar, but you can also find others, or you can come to AI consultants and ask us, and we'd be happy to help you with that information. Okay, so there's a question about search. I kind of hinted on it before. So how is AI going to change search? I'd say Google is not going to be how we know Google in the next, I'm going to call it 2 to 3 years. I don't know. I'm just guessing. So you have to be very good at knowing what people are asking online. And there's different strategies to figure this out. There's different AI softwares to figure it out. There's trending softwares that, different industries and what questions or what concerns are coming up in different industries online. So you can use that to be able to answer these questions. So it's going to be more and more important to be part of Q&A websites like Reddit, things like that, because Google in particular is using those websites to pull their AI results. But to be honest with you, Google is losing market share every single day. And so it used to be they had 85% of the market for search. I've heard they're down to about 65%. Why is that? It's because we're using AI and most of us don't even know. We're saying Siri or Alexa or whatever that is. Well, hopefully my Alexa won't come on. So that's all AI. And so we're searching through AI right now and not going to Google's website and searching that. And Google does have an AI option, but not everybody knows to click that. So for search, if you're interested in learning about search with AI, then yeah, you should really start to dive in to be ahead of your competitors. So it is something of interest. I will be doing some introductory training on that. Um, so somebody's asking about Perplexity Pro, and you're not sure if you're fully utilizing the Pro portion. Do you know any of the additional benefits? So, yeah, Perplexity Pro, anything Pro, any of them, Claude Pro, like anything Pro, is going to give you more more capabilities. You just have to look at, do I need these capabilities? Sometimes you can get away with a $10 a month option and not the pro option. And don't let pro scare you, because different levels, it might be $40 instead of $20. So you have to look at what you need out of it. If you want to reach out to me, I'd be happy to go over your needs, and I can see if the pro, if you're missing something with that. But I'd be happy to take a look. You can also ask for them to do a demo with you, to make sure that you're hitting all of the benefits that they do have. But again, you don't want to pay for things that you don't need, that you're never going to use and you don't need. So it's really, that's the first thing you have to look at, is just get a piece of paper out and figure out, what do I need Perplexity to do for me? What am I trying to kind of get off my desk, and see if just the other version might be able to do that. Yeah, it has a lot of bells and whistles, the Pro, but I don't need it. So that's really the first question. And then after that, then you have to look at, okay, what are all the options that can fit my needs? But again, reach out to me. I'd be happy to have a short little call with you to go over that. Okay, it looks like we are just about out of time. Yep, look at that. We had 1 minute to spare. So I appreciate you being part of this. I will be doing a series of these. I will be doing live events as well, live workshops. So just make sure you're on my email list so you can get all those notifications. Send me questions if something comes up in the next week. If you want to send me a question, I'm happy to reply to that. And this recording will be on my YouTube channel. So please, go find me on YouTube. It's under Clarity Consulting group, and you'll be able to see this webinar as well as previous webinars that I've done. I did a AI overview for business, which was jam-packed as well. All right, so thank you again for attending, and I hope I'll see you at the next one.